We are going to get started. So my name is Tina Lanou. I'm a teacher on special assignment in the Innovation and Learner Engagement Department. I have Jessie here with me. Jessie is going to be helping to moderate the chat. So if you have questions, you can put them in there. We can answer them for you. Jessie, can you say hello?
Hi, happy to see you all. I'm starting to recognize faces and it makes me so happy. I get to see everyone come back over and over again. So good to see you all again.
Jessie was able to help with 101. So hopefully there are some familiar faces from 101 last week. All right, so we are going to be looking at today the connections for 21st century learning, our objectives, Edpuzzle Live, which I struggled with this morning or already, uploading our videos in Edpuzzle, and then the feedback and grading portions of Edpuzzle that they have to offer. So our connections that we talked about is using those 21st century skills to let the students think critically, communicate, and then solve problems. The good thing about Edpuzzle is they are able to use the videos at their own pace. You can use the live version, but there's also that ability for them to use it for after school, homework, or even if you have a self-paced lesson in your classroom. And then looking at SAMR again is just that technology integration and how we can substitute a lesson at the very beginning. If it's a paper pencil lesson, they're using that substitution. That augmentation is now giving them a little bit more. And then that modification and redefinition is taking your lessons to whole new levels and breaking outside of just your classroom walls. All right, so today you guys are going to experience and learn how to use the Edpuzzle Live. We're going to work on that experience part of it, understanding how to upload the videos, and then again exploring the gradebook and feedback features in Edpuzzle. If you guys were in Edpuzzle 101, we talked about the different magic behind Edpuzzle. So that the students going at their own pace, those live sessions. Every student can be held accountable because in the grade book, you are able to kind of see how long it took them to complete the Edpuzzle. So you're able to use the short response questions to get that more in-depth or just the multiple choice. Using the monitoring, it's for all different levels. If you use the audio response in those open-ended questions, rather than having to type it out, they can speak their answer. And then as a teacher, and possibly for your students, if you want to go to this level, is using the screen recording to create your own lessons. So when to use it in the classroom, for homework, or even just as a review. Those are some different ways you can use Edpuzzle in your classroom. And how to use it, again, that independent mode or live mode. So when you're using live mode for it, I'm going to share my screen with you so that way you guys can see. There we go. So once you're into your class, you can choose which class it is you want. You can click on the assignment, and then right here, it's going to say live mode. So as we tried today, you want to make sure your students are already in your class before you give them the assignment. That way there's not an issue with them having to join your class and then do the live mode, which shouldn't be an issue if you're using Google Classroom. So you're going to click on live mode. Then you're going to start your live mode. And now I have 22 students that are ready. So if you do have someone that's out, they're not going to be up there. So you can start waiting. Kind of like Kahoot. If you guys use Kahoot, it tells you how many students are there. This gives you the actual name of the students. And then when you're ready, you start, you control the pace of the video, and they're interacting on their devices. Okay. All right.
Tina, quick question for you.
Yes.
Would you like me to join live mode on my end and you can show what it looks like as a teacher when you're actually going through it? Does that make sense?
Go ahead. Yes, that's fine. I think I had a couple that were in there. But yeah, go ahead and do that, and then I'll start it on my end.
Just because then if you're showing the teacher screen, maybe we can
exit first, because you have to make sure you wait for your students. Go ahead and join now, Jesse. Thank you. All right, so I can see that Jesse's in. It's telling me one student is here, and now they're just waiting. So when I go to start, I'm going to start the lesson. Okay, so now, Jesse, did you answer on your end?
I did.
Okay.
It says waiting for my classmates.
Perfect. So it's going to wait, hold, and then I will continue. So it's not going to show me their answers yet. So I can, I take that back. There we go. So now I can look to see who. It doesn't show me their name. It is just going to show me their answers. Okay. And then I can go. There's also a way to hide the responses. So if I didn't want to show the students, Jesse, were you able to see? You weren't able to see the responses, were you, on your end?
No, I could see my answer on my screen, and I could see everyone's answer on your teacher screen.
Okay, so the students won't have all of the responses, so it's a way for you to be able to look. All right, I'm going to skip out of this. All right, so there's our Edpuzzle Live. Uploading videos, there are two different ways there's actually three different ways. If you are in Edpuzzle, you can just click the upload video button, and I will show you those. You can also upload them through YouTube. There is also an extension that we're going to add today, where you can have the extension on your desktop or on your computer, and now you're able to use Google Slides, let's say, and do a screencast of your lesson and be able to upload it directly into Edpuzzle. So I will show you that as well. Trimming videos, you now are able to take that video, and if it's a YouTube video, sometimes those YouTube videos are extremely long and you don't need all of that content. You just need to cut different pieces. So with the editing the videos, you're able to cut out pieces. You're able to trim it, make it shorter. That way you only get the content that you need if you're using someone else's video. So let me show you. I'm going to exit our live. So if I'm in Edpuzzle, I can add content up here using the blue button. Okay, so I can add it. I can upload a video. I can record a video. If you get into, you can make it where students are creating videos to share as well. So upload a video if it's on my desktop. I can get it through Google Drive. If I want to record a video, I have the extension up here. And when I give you guys some time to go through, you're going to be able to add that extension. Jesse has the link for you. But I can take this. I can either record my tab, my desktop, even just if I want a camera, and I can do that and then embed those questions in there. Okay. If I'm in YouTube, I'm going to show you what that extension looks like. Questions with Adele. Why not? All right. So right here, you can see, because I already have the extension, I can click edit with Edpuzzle, and now it's going to take the YouTube video, put it into Edpuzzle, and now I'm going to be able to edit. Okay. So lots of information for you. But now's the time for you guys to be able to explore. Just with uploading, uploading videos if you want to upload a video, adding that Edpuzzle extension. Okay, you can look at the different tools with the editing, cutting. If you want to grab just any video, you can do it that way as well. Okay, I am here if you have questions. You can unmute. You can also type in the chat if you'd rather type in the chat. Jesse and I will monitor that as well for you. But I'll give you guys about 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll give you guys about 5 minutes just to kind of play around with the few things we went over, okay? All right. Okay, we have about 30 seconds, but I don't want to rush you guys. So if you need more time, I can give you more time. Just let me know in the chat if we're good to go or you still want a few more minutes.
My extension doesn't seem to be working correctly. Did I miss it?
Okay, do you want to share your screen real fast with it? And then let's see if we can walk you through. I would share your entire screen if you don't mind. That may be easier.
Oh. Don't look at how many tabs I have open.
There's no judgment. This is definitely a judgment-free zone. My computer looks like my brain. Tabs.
That's what they say. Probably true. Okay. So when I tried to go in here and edit, it's taking me to a 404.
Okay, so try just logging into Edpuzzle first.
Oh.
Are you logged into Edpuzzle on like a different tab? Okay, try logging into Edpuzzle first.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's because I'm in your class probably, huh?
So log in as a teacher. Yeah, it's thinking you're still a student going, wait a minute, you can't do this yet.
Aha.
Okay. Try that.
That did it.
Yay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. Oh, Sarah, you did the same thing. Okay. All right. So it sounds like we're good to go. We will move on. You'll have some time a little bit later to work if you still need it. So in Edpuzzle, let's see okay, I had to make sure we're looking at the right screen. So in Edpuzzle, they do have feedback tools for the students. So as they answer questions, if they don't get the question correct, you can give them some feedback. So if it's maybe a link to a video or if it's a link to a document, something to give them support in answering that.
Edpuzzle's Gradebook is a simple but powerful way to track your class's progress across multiple assignments. Let's see how.
Sorry, I didn't realize that was going to play quite yet. All right, so I'm going to show the video to you guys of how to use the gradebook, and then I will walk you through as well on my end. So here you go.
Edpuzzle's Gradebook is a simple but powerful way to track your class's progress across multiple assignments. Let's see how. First, log in to your teacher account and select Gradebook from the top menu bar. Then, choose the class whose progress you want to see from the drop-down menu. By default, you'll see the video lesson assignments from the past 30 days. If you want to change the date range, click on the Start Date box and enter the dates of your choice. If you assigned video lessons with questions, you'll be able to see the grade that each student got in each video. Multiple choice questions are automatically graded. If you see 3 dots, it means an assignment still has open-ended questions pending to be graded. Once you grade them, the gradebook will automatically update. Under each grade, you'll see a thin line showing the percentage of the video that student watched. At the beginning of each student's row, you'll see the total score. This is an average of all the grades that students earned for the displayed period of time. Remember that if a video doesn't have questions, it won't be included in the total score calculation. If you're using Edpuzzle as a formative or summative assessment tool, this information is priceless. Next to the total score, you'll see the total time spent. This shows how much time each student spent watching the videos and can help you analyze how much effort your students made. If a video lesson has a due date and the student completed the video late, you'll see a red clock icon next to that grade, although it will still count as part of the total score. If you click on a student's name, you'll get an individual report. You'll see the total score, the total time spent, and their progress for each assignment. This report is ideal for one-on-one meetings. If you want to download your grades, simply click Export Gradebook. You'll get a CSV file that you can open using Excel, Google Sheets, or even upload to your school's online gradebook. And that's it. Now you're ready to use Edpuzzle's gradebook. Edpuzzle's grade.
There we go. Sorry. I always forget to mute and unmute, so it gets that echo. Sorry about that. With the grade book, I know my daughter's teacher, she goes to Miller and she uses Edpuzzle. She creates her own math lessons that the students have to do, I think almost weekly. And so it's a great way for you to be able to do quick checks with your students, to be able to see, are they understanding the concepts? Do I need to spend more time? Are they completing them in a timely manner? They will, if they do click off of, or one of the great parts about Edpuzzle, if they click into a new tab as their Edpuzzle's playing, it will stop them. So it's not something they can just play in the background. They have to be active and engaged on their screen. So that is nice. So you're able to, there's many ways that the students can trick you, but this is one that you're able to really get that engagement on how much time it's taking them to complete it. All right. I will show you how to access the gradebook, but you're going to log into your account, select your class. You'll see it at the top, the assignments, and the gradebook is there. And for feedback, there are general feedback you can get to the students after they're finished with the assignment. But like I did say, in the questions, you're able to do that. So I can show you that as well. So if you're in the question, if they choose the wrong answer, here's where you're going to add in that feedback. So you can add just text words. You can add the links or a picture if you need them to look at something for the question. After they're done, you can add a comment if you want of their score. Maybe they finished in a quick time. You want to praise them for that. You're able to do that as well. And let me show you. All right, so you should, there we go. You're looking at my screen now, so I'm going to go to my class. It tells me here that I have questions that need to be for me to grade. So that's very quick and easy knowing, oh, I have 2 new answers for this one, and I have 10 new answers here. So I can go to my grade book. Again, remember it defaults to the last 30 days. So I do want to click on my grade book up here. I'm going to start, I think we started somewhere in August to today's date. So I'm going to save. Now I can go through and I can see how long it took. So this is the only one that has been completed completely for Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. You must have been at our 101. So there were 43 seconds spent. It gives me that time. If I want to, I can click here. I can actually see that green is going to tell me that it is completed and finished. If I see, hold on. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get out of it. If I go into here, I can see my answers. So when I click on, oh, I already finished mine. Don't want to do Daniel. Click on your 10 answers to grade, and now it's going to tell me the answer. I can leave that comment, great job. So now I will be able to see that comment, and the student will be able to see the comment as well. So that's the commenting tool or the feedback tool after they've completed. If I want to embed it into the video, I am going to click on the assignment. I'm going to edit. There's a note that was added in here. So if I want to go here, I can edit. So if they choose first person, I could put feedback in here and I can either type my feedback out, or maybe I have a PDF or a graphic that shows first person, second person, third person. I can put that graphic in there so they can see the different points of view and know, oh, this is why it would be third person, not first person. So you're able to add those in there. All right. I think that was the two things we looked at, was the gradebook, which is over here, changing the date and being able to look to see time spent, being able to add that feedback to the students. So I'm going to give you guys, let's see, it's 4:05. I'm going to give you about 5 more minutes to explore those different tools. Again, you can unmute if you have questions. So if you already have an assignment in Edpuzzle that you're using, you can edit the feedback. If you have students who've already completed them, this would be a great time to go in and just kind of add some feedback for them as well, so they can see that. It's your time. You have 5 minutes. We are here. That's not the right slide. There we go. That one. 5 minutes. We are here. If you have questions, you can unmute. You can add them in the chat, and it's your time. Go for it. All right. So we are going to move on. We are almost to the end. We have about 15 more minutes. We won't need 15 more minutes, but I do want to get you guys to experience a student live. So we're going to try one more time. Jesse's going to put that link in the chat for you again, just so it's right there close to you. If you guys can log out of Edpuzzle right now, that way we're completely logged out. And then if you log back in as a student. So that way it takes you to your student page. And I do have the classroom open, and I do have that live open. I'm going to share my screen with you so you guys can see. I have, 5 of you. Let's see, Amy, Ashley, Jennifer, Sarah. We're getting close. Oh, there's one more. You may have to mute and tell me how to say your name by the end of this, because I do not want to mess it up. All right. I think we have 6. All right. We'll go on. Amanda may be focused on something different right now. So we are going to have you start. Oh, you're trying, Amy or Amanda? Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to go on without her. Okay, so you can at least see it on my end. So I'm going to start it. So you guys should now be able to see it on your end. Sorry, I want to mute it because we don't need an echoing going on. All right, so now you should be able to answer. I'm going to give time. Now, if you're looking at my screen, it tells you right here I have 5 out of 6 students that answered. There's my 6 out of 6. So now I can continue. If this is like a review, you are able to show those responses to see what they said. Otherwise, you can just hide it and continue. And there's our answer, Dory. Who's our next character? And it showed you. I hope you guys, I don't know if you guys saw that or not. So again, these are all open-ended questions. You could change them to multiple choice if you wanted to do multiple choice. It does tell me 2 of the 7, 3, 4, 5. And we have one more. All right, it's okay. We'll continue. So continue. If I want, I can show my show your answers. Prince Philip. Okay. That works. I don't know if they ever really give his real name in the movie. I think they just say Prince Charming. All right. So maybe if you're going through this and it's something where you're getting lots of different answers, you can go ahead and rewatch it. That's rewatching it from the beginning. So you can skip through if we needed to go back, give some explanation, maybe tell them the movie that they were in, give them a little bit more and see if they can answer it again. Okay. So that's the live version. I'm going to switch back over here. But I did want you guys to kind of get that experience. So I'm glad it worked. It wasn't, you guys now got to be able to experience that. All right. So again, revisiting those connections is that SAMR model. We're really working in that augmentation. So we're changing the way that we are teaching. So if we're, instead of doing that lesson, we can now do it live with our students. And using that modification and redefinition is going to be when your students are now creating those videos. We didn't get into that, but if that is something that you are interested, please reach out and I will be more than happy to have those conversations with you to get that started. Or using Edpuzzle as your, with your slides to now create videos that are specific to your students and not just YouTube videos that are out in the world. Okay. And then having students think critically, having them be able to communicate. So if there are typing through those out and then solving problems creatively. Do we have any questions before we, I'm not even showing you. Oh, yes, I am. There we go. Okay. Any questions for me? Yes, Sarah, you have a question?
You mentioned earlier that your daughter used this for middle school math, which I'd never thought of using it for the math lesson before. So when she's input, is it just multiple choice answers or is she inputting like, is it just straight numbers on the keyboard or does it do things like fractions and stuff like that?
So,
how does the math?
You would have to do more of like the, you know, if it's 1/2, so the 5-2, or if you are doing multiple choice, she does a lot for review lessons. So she'll go over like vocabulary and she'll have them pause the video and now write down the vocabulary that they had. And so then the next question may be, you know, tell me what a equilateral triangle is. And so they'd have to type in what an equilateral triangle is. So there's all sorts of different ways that you can, but the teacher specifically does her own lessons where she's giving the students information that she could give them in class, but now she's having them do that on their own time to be able to write that down, pause when they need to pause. So it's really that self-paced lessons. Did that help? Okay. I can't remember her teacher's name or I'd give her like a huge shout out, but I'm like blanking on her teacher, but she does teach at Miller. Sarah, what school are you at?
Oh, I'm at RBS. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
at TAP. I'm located at TAP, but I'm RBS.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This would be great for a virtual school because you are able to let them do it kind of on their own and then come back with questions that they have. Good. All right, so I just have a couple things from you. If you guys can confirm your attendance, and then if you're able to provide feedback on the PD, Jessie is going to put in the link to KickUp. Our code is also on the screen, but she will also put that in the chat for you as well. Don't go too far. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to do that because we do have the time card to have you fill out. And I have a couple things with the time card as well, just to help you get paid. So the link's going to be in the chat.